everybody, I'm Franny.
And I'm Heidi.
And today we have the incredible privilege of driving the new Taycan Turbo S. We have the sales manager here, Greg, in the back. This is from Prestige Porsche in Denver. So if you're interested in one of these cars, you definitely want to go see them. They've been amazing to allow us to let us drive this car today.
And their information will be in the description.
Yeah. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, well, this is an amazing car. You know, in the electric game, this is really one of the first cars to come in after, of course, Tesla, the big leaders there. So we've got cars coming from Audi, we've got cars coming from Polestar, all sorts of stuff, but this one's on the road now. So we're out driving it. It's got a million different features to it. It's a premium car. In this, guys, it's the Turbo S, so the top of the range on this car.
Right.
All right, well, Heidi's going to take it out. We're going to tootle a bit. Yeah. I've got some notes. I'll talk about some stuff, and I think it's going to be great. So a couple of quick specs on the car while we're turning the car around.
The seatbelt just got tighter.
It does. It gets tighter. This car has 616 horsepower in its sort of normal run, and if you do a launch, the thing goes up to 750 horsepower. That's huge. An enormous amount of torque, up to 774 pound-feet of torque. So this thing's crazy. Top speed, which I assume is limited, at 161 miles per hour. It's pretty fast. This and the turbo comes with a 93 kilowatt hour battery. So there's a small amount taken over the top. So you've got an 83 kilowatt hour useful amount in the battery. The car is a little bit heavy, comes in at over 5,000 pounds, over 5,100 pounds. Actually, there's a slight difference between the Turbo and Turbo S, but not that big a deal. People talk about the range in this car. So the Turbo S is, the EPA said something like 192, and for the Turbo about 201, something like that. But I know that in the real world, people are getting much better range in this car. They're getting the normal sort of what you'd expect, about 250 to 270. So the big claim to fame for this car is its 800 volt architecture. So that's twice what the regular cars, Teslas and things are using. And there's a big reason for that. Because remember, power is voltage times current. So going up to 800 volts, we use half the current. But the important part is that loss in the systems is I squared R. So we lose for the square of the current. So if we can drop the current quite a bit, half, we get 1/4 of the losses in the system. And losses translate to heat, and heat is what kills repeat performance. So this car is designed specifically for repeat performance and to keep that fun coming as long as possible. Porsche says you can do 10, launch controls on this thing, one after the other, just kind of nail it, and it will just be totally happy with that. It's totally track ready. It's an amazing car that way. The tech is insane. So that 800 volts is pretty cool. It also allows the car to charge faster as well, because we can hook it up to a charger. We're not pulling as much current once again, so we don't have as much heat going into the batteries and through all the electronics in the system. So you can get this car charged on their 800 volt systems from 5% to 80% in just a little over 20 minutes. That's totally doable. So that's great. And they're building chargers all over the place for this thing. The Charge America, is that correct? Electrify America. And another cool thing is they're going to be installing them in the Porsche dealerships, which will put them in the major cities, inside the major cities as well.
Are you guys ready for a pull?
Yep. So here we go.
Holy cow. Wow.
And that's uphill.
Wow, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. This thing is an overtaking monster. Of course, electric, lots and lots of torque. But one cool thing about this car is it has a 2-speed transmission. So why would they do that? I know Tesla looked into that, but they couldn't find one that could put out all the power that car puts out would just destroy any transmission. So Porsche's managed to solve this issue. Why would you do that? Well, as electric motors spin up, they're putting out their maximum torque right at the beginning, right at stall, but as they roll up, they're building back EM force, so that's voltage. And when the voltage equals the voltage of the pack, you're done. And the motor doesn't put any more power. So That's why you use a 2-speed transmission, to allow the motor to spin faster in the beginning and give you lots of power, but then shift and backdrop, and then you can push all the way up through the top speed.
I just want to talk about the drive a little bit.
Yeah, please do.
So I noticed, and I think Greg you put on a feature that allowed the car to roll more. I mean, I feel like versus an ICE car, that this car actually is staying constant, like cruise control.
That's what it's doing right now. That's the mode it's in right now.
Okay.
If
we turn
if you want a little more drag, you can.
No.
Turn that on.
I just noticed that,
Yeah,
and it was
it
quite a
rolls
bit
very
different.
nicely.
I was like, wow, this is like, my foot is actually not on the gas pedal right now, and it's just constant right now, which I was like, this would not be happening with a regular internal combustion car. It's just, unless you had it in cruise control, it feels like it's in cruise control.
That's interesting. Well, let me go ahead and turn the recoup on and see if you feel something different.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so there's the
Totally
difference.
different. Yeah, so that's where the regen comes into it.
Right, and speaking of regen, this car can regen an enormous amount. You said up to 90%.
Well, 80% of your brake force.
80% of your brake
comes
force.
from the generator.
So that's amazing. And Porsche says that if you're at 124 miles an hour and you go to a dead stop, you can put as much as 2.5 miles of range back in. Their recoup system is crazy. It's amazing. It's really something. So this car has a lot of other features as well that Porsche has in their other cars. It has lane assist, and it has cameras all around it, and all that sort of stuff.
I also want to point out that, like, I need to adjust the mirrors right now, and I know where the gauges are. I mean, getting into this car still feels like a Porsche. I mean, like, I'm like, you know, I don't have to like look all over for a gauge that I don't know where it is.
That's perfect.
So I mean, it's really nice from that perspective that, you know, I can go ahead and adjust my mirrors and know right where they are, and you know, I mean, I'm not looking on the dash for them or wherever. I always feel comfortable if I know, like, I'm getting into a Porsche, and I've been in so many, and this one is substantially different. If you look at some of the gauges, there's still things that are in place that you would expect, which is really helpful.
Right, and this car has a lot of touchscreens in it. It has 4 large touchscreens in it. But Porsche didn't take away all the buttons, which is what Heidi's talking about, and that's nice too. So the important things you can find quickly.
Windows going up and down, that, you know, all that stuff. It's right there.
And there is a voice command for this car as well. Road noise. This is a very rough road we're on right now.
Yeah.
And it's very quiet.
Right.
So this has just been a little bit of a taste. We wanted to get something out.
I'm excited about it.
Yeah, it is. It's really.
I think this car will definitely.
Excited.
One of these cars will definitely. One of the Tacons will definitely be in our garage.
You think so?
I think so.
Yeah, I think
sure.
so. This is just.
Yes, for sure.
We have the sales manager Greg here is going to take us out for a little tootle. It's going to be great fun. Heidi's in the back there.
I am.
And Greg's going to show us what this car can do. I think it's pretty insane, huh?
It's beyond belief, actually. But we'll see. For just driving around, obviously, comfortable, easy car, but at any point you can just take off like a rocket ship.
Oh my gosh, holy cow.
Don't want to do that too much here on the regular streets here.
Right.
With an all-wheel drive car, easy to control at all times. You know, the power's right to the wheels. This particular one has the Sport Chrono package on, so you can launch it.
Yes.
Service Manager launched it. We have a G-force gauge in these cars. You got it up to 1.8 Gs.
Wow.
On the launch.
That's amazing.
Which is a lot of acceleration.
Yeah, that's really crazy. That's just nuts. And it has an overboost function on when you do the launch, right? And
when you're in the Sport Plus mode. So there's a variety of modes you can put it in. We're kind of in the normal drive, normal chassis height. You can lower the car, stiffen up the suspension, just like all our sports cars.
Sure.
Which this is very much a sports car too.
Well, it's one of the things I love about Porsche is that they bring along all the knowledge and everything they've got from all their other cars. They've been building incredibly fast cars for 60 years. So they know about suspensions, they know about steering, they know about chassis, they know about all that. So all they're doing to this particular car, to this game, is bringing the electric.
Yeah.
And but you still get all the Porsche bits, which are really fun, all the suspension management systems and the roll suspension, all that sort of stuff. But you get this electric experience that's very new.
Yeah. What I liked a lot about, I drove the car out on the racetrack in Spain a few months back, and one of the things I really liked about it was how you sit in the car and what you see out the front. You just see the front fenders here. The hood drops down pretty fast, so you feel like you're in just a small sports car, like the rest of our cars. And
Right.
you turn it, and it goes right where you
Oh,
aim
look
it.
at that! Yeah. Oh, that's so nice. No body roll, no fuss, no wallowy, no tail waggling.
And again, this is just in the soft setup. We can stiffen it up a bit and go into the sport mode. We can add a little sports car sound if you want. Give it a little. So obviously the electric car is quiet, but we got. I don't know if you can hear that now. We got a little sound enhancement there.
I can certainly hear it back here.
Yeah. Yeah,
We
which
can
is kind
add
of
some
fun.
recuperation
Okay.
system, which that'll give you a little engine, a little drag on the regen. So if you're just in the normal mode, you get off the throttle, it'll coast like a normal car will. Some of the electric cars really can drag you down. So some people like that kind of coast feature, which this car will do. But you can also go into this recuperation mode, and it'll give you a little like engine braking, like we're used to. It's the generators, but like we're used to in a sports car, that you can get off the throttle and the car will slow down a little bit for you. So like here, coming up to this person in front of us,
Of course.
we can
It's
get off
always
the
fun.
throttle without really using the brakes.
It's very unique sounding.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's kind of space age.
Yeah.
We'll
I
go
think
around.
it's kind of fun.
We'll go around these guys. We'll go up a little ways and then we can switch. And
You bet.
Y'all can take over. So there's our space age. And that's not all the way to the floor. That's to the floor.
So this car has this much performance because you can take it on a racetrack,
Yeah.
and that's very different. It's designed for that.
So how was the track? I mean, like, what did you like? Is this a car that people would want to take to the track, or do you think they would be better off with one of your other?
Well,
cars?
it's a Porsche, so Porsche assumes that owners of their cars may at times want to go have a little extra fun with them. So they're definitely capable. I drove the car on the Spanish Grand Prix course there near Barcelona, and we did multiple laps on the cars, kind of taking turns following the pro drivers in. They were driving 911s, but easily, 150 miles an hour down the straights, through the corners, again, multiple corners. We were full on driving the cars, no let up in performance. The battery stayed strong throughout. I think when I was driving it, we did, 7 or 8 hard laps and used maybe 15% of the battery charge. So,
That's awesome.
and again, with no discernible performance drop. Porsche's taken the effort to not have occasional performance, but consistent performance.
Exactly.
Whether it's from the motors, obviously throughout the whole car, but it's there when you want it and without hesitation. It's quite a satisfying car that way.
And such a premium feel. All the materials are very much premium. Now, this is not a cheap car. It's a fairly expensive car, especially in this top trim level. But it's beautifully put together. There's no creaks, rattles, bumps, any of that. It's a very quiet car. Very much a car you could use as a daily driver as well. Well, we hope you enjoyed this quick little drive in the new Porsche Taycan Turbo S. a super big thank you to Prestige Motors.
visit
for letting
Greg.
and Greg, come
Yes,
visit Greg.
definitely.
They
It's
have
here
other
locally.
cars here too, which you'll want to check out as well.
they
This
have
is a
lots.
great dealership. They're super friendly people. Well, thank you so much for watching. As always, a special thank you to our Patreon supporters
And to Prestige Imports.
And to Prestige Imports.
Right.
All right. Well, until next time, safe travels.
Bye.